everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 659. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I'm Barry Mellon.
And unfortunately, let me adjust my mic again because whatever. All right, here we go. And unfortunately, Mako-chan is off tonight. She's going toe-to-toe with the toilet bowl, and right now, the toilet bowl is basically beating the living snot out of her. Hopefully she will be...
Praying
This
to a
podcast
very
Anime
revengeful
Jam Session.
porcelain god.
Yes, and I totally forgot about that. It's a good thing I actually have the mute button right there, right then and there, so whoops. Because right after that intro, I always hit mute and go into my intro, and I totally forgot. But hopefully she will be feeling better for our final show of the year next week, which is our Christmas special, where we tend to just kind of chill, relax. We'll talk holiday stories, holiday articles, and just roll out and all that good stuff. I believe Wild Spice will be here, and Koi may be showing up, so...
Ooh, let's go! Full house.
Yes, it's going to be a chaotic night. So we're just going to kick back and have a little bit of fun. So, you know, that's how we do. And maybe some eggnog, but you can skip me because I'm not a big fan of it. So.
Oh, I love this stuff.
It's the taste that just gets to me. It's like I'm just
Nutmeg.
Yeah.
Nutmeg. If you don't like nutmeg, you won't like eggnog. That's like the big thing.
I don't think it's
given
that
flavor.
No, I don't. I like nutmeg.
Maybe it's the texture that gets to you.
I think that's what it is. It's the texture and the taste.
Oh yeah, the texture too, I guess. Yeah.
It just I don't know. I think one time I had it, it was kind of chalky, and it was like you're supposed to eat or drink this. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that's how it goes. So anywho, let's get the show on the road. How is everybody doing tonight?
Doing okay.
I'm friggin' tired.
Yes, I feel you on that one. I'm all right. I'm basically getting prepared for hanging out with a friend this weekend, and then I'm actually going on yet another vacation at the end of the year. So who would have thought that?
Woo!
Lucky you.
Lucky me. Well, yeah. I mean, look. I since I've never said I was going, but like last year I got all hyped about talking about going to Japan for like 3 months, which by the way, I will be going back next year for my birthday, but that's neither here nor there. This year, I'm actually going to Universal Studios.
Okay.
Okay.
But here's the funny part. My friend Baltimore Lauren, her and her boyfriend were going down. And I think through a discussion, I was like, yeah, I'll roll with y'all. Originally, I was going to road trip with them, but they decided to do things differently. So I'm like, I'll fly down. So I figured we would just not go into the parks itself, but just hang out in like in the open, free, like tchotchke, you know, touristy areas. And I was fine with that. I've never been to Florida, so I figured, you know. And I was telling a friend of mine about it, and I'm like, I want to come down, get a chance to finally meet you, meet your husband. We'll get together and have dinner, you know? And she's like, okay, that's cool. By the way, do you want tickets? I was like, what? So now I have 2 tickets for Universal Studios.
That's nice.
For 2 days. I was like, okay, cool. And I'm meeting another friend while I'm down there, so that's going to be fun. And I just wanted to go and just relax and have a good time. And after that, I'm flying to Denver. And I'm going to hang out with a bunch of friends out there that I have not seen in years. One of them, you know, that is Koi. You know, the one that tends to break things on the show purely by accident or coincidence when she shows up. And Patty and Seb, y'all know them as Say and Yatin. And they stream over on Starlit Creations. So I will be hanging out with them. So it's going to be a very good week, very good 2 weeks. So
Sounds like fun.
yeah, I mean, I look at it this way: if you have a friend out of state that you can hang with for like 3-4 days, instant vacation right there, you know. So let's go ahead and get past all of that, and let's get the show rolling, shall we? So, Ari, how was your week? How was your day, my friend?
It's mostly just work-related stuff.
Mm.
Let's see. I did get the registration for the car finalized, and I still have my old plates. So, well, it's one less thing I got to worry about for the new
Mm-hmm.
vehicle.
That's
I
good.
just gotta get the what do you call it? Inspection done.
Gotcha.
But you know, last week at work was my split week, so my days off were Monday and the following Sunday, which was a whole lot of fun.
Mm.
And I get to go in on the morning shifts the rest of the week. But anyway, let's see what else. I honestly didn't do a whole lot this week aside from work. I mean, I know it's
Mm-hmm.
not the most exciting, but about all I can say is that between the holiday pay and the money I get for just traveling to work, it's next couple checks are going to be pretty nice. I just
That's
gotta
good.
figure out.
I like
I
that.
just gotta figure out who I'm buying
Mm.
for Christmas.
And I totally get that.
I don't know who I'm buying for on the show. I mean,
Yeah, look, I'm still handling like stuff. Like I have like stuff from Amazon rolling in. I know I'm picking up stuff from friends when I travel. Like I have boxes of cards here, and I picked up two Christmas cards. I was like, one more I gotta pick up. I'm probably gonna end up creating the labels and everything, and just taking it all to work and using one of the printers to print my labels out while I sit there and just sign and seal my cards and send them on their merry little way. I know that anybody that's getting like a gift card from me, I'm just gonna go on Amazon and be just like email. It's all in your inbox. It's all in your inbox. Enjoy. Yeah.
that's simple enough for me. I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't. Uh, People say I'm like really good at getting people gifts, but honestly, half the time I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I feel the same way. Like I just met this one girl and we were talking and she calls herself a book slut, which is I think it's an endearing term. I think it's positive. So I went out and I grabbed like 3 books. So
Mhm.
and I will find out when I give them to her if she likes them or not. Because so far I've had 100% accuracy getting books for people. It's like I may not get directly in the bullseye for books for that you like, but I will. It'll be like within your circle, and you'll still be just as happy. And I may end. You may end up like, "Ooh, this is a new series," something like that. So you know. Anyway, sorry. Please continue.
No, that's about it for me. I
Okay.
mean,
All right. Barry, how was your week? How was your day?
It was pretty good, I guess. It's been kind of just like I guess like Black Friday passed while I was gone on my hiatus from the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up doing something like biting the bullet and upgrading my rig. So that has just arrived today. So I am like chomping at the bit to get my little handsies, my little raccoon hands onto my new computer. Then I have to wrap it back up for myself to put back under the tree. But I mean, for now, I get to like make sure that Windows is all installed correctly and the Dream Machine is getting upgraded, guys. So I'm excited about that. That's kind of been the big thing, I guess. And then just kind of getting some work done on some projects for clients and everything like that. Other than that, it's been a pretty quiet yeah, pretty quiet holiday season so far.
Oh, are you willing to share what you got?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of
Mm-hmm.
research. I was thinking that it might be good for like geeky roundup,
Mm-hmm.
to talk about the
Okay, then
parts
we'll
of the
save it.
machine. But
We'll save it for our geek
yeah. I
roundtable.
was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say it might be good for geeky roundup.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's basically I was working on that, and then some parts and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I recently inherited an old TV screen that was like 18 by 1080 by 1920,
Oh, 1080p
and I
monitor.
ended up
Yeah.
making that a third monitor.
Jesus.
So
Okay.
yeah, just a
not
lot of
bad.
technology updates, really.
I did
Sometimes
drop in on your stream too,
mm, uh,
Barry.
Hmm? What was it?
I dropped in on your stream too.
Yeah, and Ari came by. Yeah, Ari stopped by and appreciate you joining the community, being in the subbies and stuff. We appreciate
yay.
that. Yeah, and Ari was hanging out in there for a little bit. How how did you like the chat? They're a bit feral. So
Yeah, I've
welcome.
noticed.
Barry's demons.
I know, they're my little nightmares. I love them to death. Oh, there's a Hexy. Hi, Hexy. Hi, Seattle Berry.
I also
Hello,
mentioned
Miss
us
Yellow Red. Hello,
playing board
Sleepyhead.
games, either on Board Game Arena or
Yeah.
Tabletop Simulator.
That sounds pretty cool. All right. All
Sorry, I'm
right.
watching chat.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. All right. So my weekend day has been the usual. I can't complain too much. I actually, as you can tell, I actually got a haircut. I was actually able to go out and get a haircut. Now the issue is I'm very finicky about who cuts my hair. Yes, there's a couple of barbershops in my new neighborhood, but I'm just like, I know they're gonna charge way more. So it takes me about an hour to go back to my old neck of the woods to get a haircut because I had to take 2 buses, and the buses are just yikes, you know? It's like I was telling a friend, it's like the bus will show up when you least expect it, and when you're waiting on it, it'll not show up, and you see 3 show up right behind each other. I think this morning I was leaving early to do something, which I'll get into just a bit, and 2 express buses kind of pulled up right behind each other. It was like, here's one pulling up, and I look down the way, I see 2 cars, and another one. I'm like, okay, that'll work. So there's that. So the other thing I did this morning before going into work was I took care of my TSA pre-check.
You gotta
And
get that done way in advance for travel.
yeah, basically it allows you to skip the majority of the line when going through the airport. And since I'm going to Newark I'm going to Newark International to fly out to Florida, I'm just like, I'm not letting history repeat itself. But here's the interesting thing. Now in New York, we have the real IDs and enhanced IDs. So I fill out the application, and it says all you have to do is bring your enhanced ID. I'm like, okay, cool. I show up and I hand her my ID. Come to find out, it is not an enhanced ID. It's not a real ID. It's not an enhanced. It's a real ID. So I was like, well, shit. Now I remember I talked about this before. Like when I got my passport, I got the passport card, and I am always carrying my passport card. By the way, here's something interesting. If you have a passport card, keep it in your wallet, because when they check your age and all of that, you can hand them the passport card. Most importantly, because it does not have your address on it. Has all the other vital details that they need, but it does not have your address. So just in case, ladies, if you're at that nice bar or whatever, and the security guy seems to be a little sketch, hand over your passport card. It's still a legal form of ID. So I did that, paid the money, and was on my merry little way. So the only thing that kind of slowed me down was Union Square. They turned it into like a Christmas village and stuff like that. So it's basically like walking through a Pac-Man maze to get over to Staples. So there is that. But other than that, that's been my weekend day. So basically, I'm getting ready for my trip. I'm going to Universal for 2 days. And then I'm spending about a little bit over a week out in Denver with some friends. So good times all around. So it's it, and that's that. So now that we got that out the way, let's go. Oh, wrong button. Hold on. There we go. I didn't reach high enough. Oh, and on the positive side of things, I figured out, like, for some reason I kept complaining there was like some type of static in the background when I'm talking, when I'm using like the mixer. So I put like ferrite rings on the cable. That didn't do it or whatever, but I don't know what I did. When I went digging behind my computer to check cables and replug things in and check whatever it's gone. And I'm just like, thank God for that. Now if I can just figure out why my mixer will not switch off the monitoring mode when I push the freaking button. Wait, nope. It's on. Push the button again. And nope, the button is off, but monitoring is still on, so I don't know what the hell. Maybe a clean driver install will do it. Well, I'll deal with that later. So I think when I get back from my trip, my computer is long overdue for a fresh install of Windows, so we'll get into that in just a bit. So let's get into some housekeeping notes here. Great. All right, just let you all know, episodes of Anime Jam Session in the video form are available on our podcast stream on YouTube. We may be adding to Spotify because I think they do video as well. So I have not gotten around to it. We'll figure that out one way or another. I think on the plus side, if I do that through if I do the video podcast through Spotify, it rips the video and just sends the audio to all the feeds, which is perfect. I double check that. But anywho, for right now, if you like watching the podcast and you want to see older episodes and so forth, you can find this on our YouTube page, youtube.com/anime jam session. Click on playlist and episodes are there. Episodes will go up. Are available Thursdays at 12 p.m. If it's not there, that means I forgot, and I humbly apologize. Fans View Friday is back. Our friend Wisteria Witch, who runs it on Twitch TV/Wisteria Witch VT. I think she is doing ASCENT 2001. You can catch her Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern on Twitch TV/Wisteria Witch VT. Hey, let me fix this. ASCENT 2001. Go. And like I said, our Christmas show, it's December 17th, which is next Tuesday. It'll be me, Ari, Barry, Mako, Wild Spice, and possibly Koi as well. The six of us will be on. We'll just be talking holiday stuff, how we spend our holidays, couple of interesting stories, just chillax. We're just gonna keep it kind of chill and low key and all that good stuff. So hopefully you swing by and come check us out. And just so you know, we will be going on our holiday break then. So we will be back on, I believe, January 14th. Because when I get back from my trip, I need at least 1 week to kind of relax and all that good stuff. So we will be back on the 14th of January 14th, 2025. Kick things off for a brand new year and get the ball rolling. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about is Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our week and what we've been up to. So, Ari, what do you have to share for Geek Roundtable?
Well, I didn't add to my collection of dice.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 sets recently. Let me show you this one right here. And that's the one. And here's the other one. I mean, I got them recently. I haven't added them to my attaché case yet because this box does look kind of nice as it is. And they came from, they're called Flying Horse Duck, was the people I bought them from.
That's cool.
Yeah, the big case that I bought with my monogram on it, it has 2 separate, foam cutouts for sets, and it's like 20 on, I think it's got 20 on each. So and I got like the entire second one to fill out.
Right. I think that's really cool.
And that's not even counting the monogram D6s I got a while ago.
All right, so how many sets of dice do you have right now?
I think like 20 something.
Wow. When you get a chance, check out my friend Jamie over at Color Spray Creations. She does some amazing dice. Every time she sets up shop at a con, she's usually sold out by Saturday afternoon.
Interesting.
Yeah, she does.
Will she be going to Zenkai? Do you know?
I doubt it, but you can order from her directly, I believe.
That's her website, right?
Yeah, colorspraycreations.com. Yeah, her stuff's pricey, but it's good quality stuff.
Like, I don't have an addiction. I can quit anytime I want.
No,
I'll quit when the entire attaché is filled.
I get that. That was me with Cards Against Humanity for a while. Now there's Cards Against Golden Girls, and then there's
there's Cards Against Insert Fandom here.
Yeah, and there's like one.
But they're all on Facebook dropship ads, so I kind of question their validity.
There's also Cards Against My Hero Academia. I'm just waiting on Ranma One Half. That's something I should do. Or I should find
I
a
want to
few.
see the reaction video of you going through that set.
Cards against Jusenkyo. That's what it should be called. Cards against Jusenkyo.
I'll be right back.
All right, cool. All right. Let me go ahead and shut this off for now. That's good. Okay, cool. All right, Barry. Now it's a geek roundtable. Tell us about the techie geek stuff you bought to overhaul your machine. And by the way, what is the name of your computer again?
The Dream Machine is what I've been calling it since starting this endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've upgraded it. I have gotten a secondary rig so that I will be running a 2-rig system.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a Fantex pre-build, but part of that was because it offered a 3D CPU capability. So rendering 3D modeling and things like that would be a lot better on this particular CPU. It is going to be, was it 7800 X3D CPU, an AMD B650 chipset motherboard, 4070 Super, which was GeForce. It's going to be water cooled. It's going to have 32 gigabytes of RAM and DDR5, and then 1 terabyte of memory. But I'm going to be supplementing it with 4 terabytes of additional memory.
4
of course, 6
terabytes
fans to keep it all cool.
4
Yeah.
terabytes. God damn.
I mean, when you're rendering 3D stuff, there's a lot of data there, and so you want to have the memory to hold it in place.
What all those rigs are going to cost.
It's already done. It's here.
Jesus.
It
Okay.
today,
All right.
I know. I still can't imagine how much those things cost.
Barry, have you been following Linus Tech Tips again?
No, I haven't been following Linus Tech Tips. This was actually, I have a lovely friend who's part of my community, and we talk computers a lot, and they do a lot of 3D rendering and things like that, so they help me out with it because I'm getting more into modeling my own model. For those who don't know, I tend to do a lot of my own 3D modeling and stuff like that, so I am learning. And I found that I was growing too big for my current rig.
Okay.
So I figured that I should probably just get the secondary computer and bite the bullet now, because next year it would be so much more expensive.
That does make sense. I mean, it does make sense to have like one dedicated machine for all your renderings and so forth, and have the second machine for streaming and gaming and stuff. All right, so
exactly. Well, the second rig will be for gaming as well as rendering and things like that. It'll basically be the processing rig.
I don't think that machine should be dedicated for rendering and stuff like that.
Because I'm not rendering 3D, obviously it'll be free to do other things.
But because the game, if you game on either machine, you're not gonna notice much of a difference really, outside of the graphics
it's mostly
card.
Because I want to house my model and my OBS software on this main one that we already use.
Right.
So
the one you're on is the NZXT build, right?
Yes.
Oh, all right. By the way, have you been seeing the videos?
Yeah, I've seen that.
All right, that's
going down in a very severe dumpster fire.
That's
pretty
all.
Much like Kuro-sanji.
Yes, that's all we need to. That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you've seen it.
It's dumpster fire. I'm so glad I got it before then, but I have to agree that they have a lot of unscrupulous practices and do a lot of weird stuff.
But Barry, before the train flies off the handle.
No, I was just gonna make a small comment of. Anytime I sent my computer back from them it was a pre-build. Anytime I sent my computer back, I did not get my original computer back, and I can guarantee you that because I put a sticker on the cases of each of them. So they took my stickers when they took my rig.
Well, now 2 things. Number 1, sometimes they take the stickers off just because.
No, this was like completely rebuilds. Like this was completely new builds with not the same motherboard, not the same GPU, not the same RAM.
And number 2, you should reach out to Tech Jesus and tell him your story.
Well, I don't think it's really not gonna matter at this point.
It might.
They replaced it.
No, but still.
They replaced it with newer and better parts.
I know.
It's more so frustrating with how much I had to go through for
it.
But
the fact of the matter remains, this is similar to what they're doing with the whole rental. So I'm just saying, I think it wouldn't hurt to email Tech Jesus.
I could reach out and see if they are interested in the story or any of the other unscrupulous practices that might be happening. But I honestly. It's one of those things I'm like, I think, I don't know if it would help anyone going through it.
You don't.
At the same time,
Barry, you don't say it might, it's not going to, you never know. Just saying.
You never know.
All right.
Honestly, you never do.
All right, now let's get back here. Now, this new machine,
Yeah.
it currently has 4 terabytes of RAM in it.
No, it's got
Yeah.
1 terabyte of RAM because
All
the
right.
1 terabyte.
Okay,
is
wait.
included in the free build.
Okay, all right, it's fine. 1 terabyte of RAM. What's the video card?
The video card's at 4070 Super.
Okay, 4070 Super. Intel or AMD?
AMD because
Okay.
Intel is a dumpster fire.
Yes, especially with their 13th and 14th gen. Yeah. Are you?
Yes,
Is it
basically burning themselves
Yeah.
out and not telling their customers about that. Yeah, I'm just not keen on
now?
risking something
now
like that.
is this Ryzen 7000 or 9000 series?
It's 78 7800 X3D.
Wait, let me check something real quick. 7800.
Yeah, no, I did.
No.
fill
I'm
it out
talking
on
about. I want to check my PC real quick.
Oh,
Real
yeah,
quick.
I'll be getting another 4 terabytes of RAM, chat. Don't worry about it. I know that us heavy duty gamers and 3D
Okay.
renderers need that.
Okay.
I
all
was
right.
buying it after the fact because it was cheaper that way.
I
But
ha-
now it's about the same price.
I have
anyway.
the 7900X in my machine. I'm seriously thinking about upgrading
nice.
to the 9000 series for 16 cores and 32 threads. I kind of want that, and I love the fact that right now my machine's running at 5 gigahertz. I'm loving that. But
Yeah,
I do need
yeah.
more RAM because I think right now I'm running 64 and I want to push it to 128.
Oh, you want to boost it to the See, I know the
128 is
max for mine, I believe, for the motherboard is 128.
Yep.
But I'm operating, I think, on.
Oh,
I think currently this rig
here's the thing.
operates on 16. So.
Here's the thing. If you boot the machine up and it detects the 1 terabyte of RAM, you're golden. It's all based on
No, the 1 terabyte of memory, you mean?
Yes, sorry, the 1 terabyte of memory. Yes, 1 terabyte of RAM. Yeah. Now, if you boot into Windows and it shows like 128, that means that you need to upgrade to Windows Enterprise. That way, it sees the full 1 terabyte.
What do you mean? The one.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's.
on your 3D modeling rig. If
Uh-huh.
if it could not detect, if it couldn't handle 1 terabyte of RAM, the machine wouldn't boot. It wouldn't post.
Oh, but it doesn't have 1 terabyte
Oh.
of RAM. The 1 terabyte is memory, is SSD.
Oh, okay. 1 terabyte is storage. Okay.
It's
okay.
32 gigabytes of RAM.
Okay. So 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte
Yes.
SSD that you're going to add, you're going to flip
Yes.
over and put in a 4 terabyte S. Okay. All right.
I'm going to
Okay.
add, I have
okay.
2 M2 slots.
Okay.
I have 2 M2 slots. So I'm
Yes,
going to
yes.
have 5 terabytes of memory. Of storage.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
I know that's probably where the
You know what's it?
confusing
Yeah,
part was.
my board has 3 slots, and I'm just like, I'm good for right now, because like I said, the main thing I want to do is just double the RAM to 128.
Thank you for
and
the
just call
hydrate.
it- That's all it is.
Serenity.
Yeah, Miss Yellow Red. No, we're not talking 1 terabyte of RAM. 1 terabyte of storage. The way Barry was explaining
sorry
it,
about
we both got a little confused. So you know.
Yeah, it's because I'm so used to saying like an
Mhm.
SSD is a solid state drive, which is a type of memory in a computer. But when you're talking
No.
Storage is
No. There's no memory connected to that. There's no memory connected to that at all. Memory is where the application
in
stored.
my
Yeah.
non-technological brain,
Mm-hmm.
storage is a memory.
Well, just remember, in your
clarify that.
non-tech mind, storage is not memory. Think of storage as a notebook.
Yeah.
There you go.
But see, that's
All right.
you're writing down
Yeah.
things to remember. You know,
Mm.
like.
Okay. All right. We have. I think we've gone past.
Before we get any deeper,
I think we've gone past anime tech session at the moment. You know, tech jam
Yes,
session.
yes,
All right,
yes.
we're done with that. Okay. Let's see. I am caught up with Don Da Don. I am caught up with Ranma One Half, the new series. I finally got up and set up my PlayStation 5. You can't see it because it's behind the TV, and I'm looking at all the cabling back there. I took it out the box. I'm just like, well, I'm gonna have to grab an HDMI cable. What I did was I didn't realize when I moved, I packed all my consoles in the box, and I packed like the HDMI cable and Ethernet cable, but I put in the ones that I use, not the stock ones. So that's all set up and it's good. And the main reason I finally got off my ass to set up my PS5 is because I want, and Ari probably knows about this, the retro PlayStation boot screens. So now you can select either PS1, PS2, PS3, or PS4 to have like the boot screens to boot up when you turn on your PS5. So
They said it was for a limited time.
I know. I hope it's a permanent because somebody's going to find a way. Somebody. I just like turning on my PS5 and just hearing the old school PS1 boot screen logo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, that's basically has been it. I have like a universal charger and it looks like it's actually working now. But the thing I had an issue with is that it keeps saying that the battery pack in my Xbox controller is at medium, but the thing here says it's full. So I'm like, I don't know. It is what it is. So what's interesting is one of my coworkers I reached out to because they had a question about consoles, and I'm like, what's up? They were looking for the 30th anniversary PlayStation 5. And I said, not happening. I said, if you give me 3 days, it may pop up on Sony Direct or Amazon or something like that. They ended up buying them off of StockX, dropping about $2,000. So they needed 2 of them. So I see that kind of makes sense. So, you know, me personally, if Sony were to release, which I doubt they will, limited edition PlayStation 30th anniversary plates, I would definitely get those. I don't even want the 30th anniversary PlayStation controller. You know, much as I do like this white controller here, I would just like to have it in a different color. I'm going to talk to my friend Beast and when he comes back from Japan and see about the best way to mod it, because I want to put it, I want red and black. That's what I like. Hell, I have black plates on my PS5. I mean, it just works better for me. So it's it, and that's it. So enough about that. Let's get into tonight's news. And let's see. I forgot to run up how we're going to do things. So let me just make one change name. So Barry, you have 2 stories back to back. So that's basically is it. And the top story for tonight is a sad one. And unlike most people that read the news, I knew about this kind of a week beforehand. So, and I will, well, not really a week per se, but I knew something was going on, something was up. So I will get into it. So for those of you who are listening to the podcast, we are talking about anime industry veteran Jan Scott-Frazier. She passed away last Thursday at the age of 59. For those of you who didn't know, she has been in the anime industry for 13 years, and she's been all over it. She was in the production department for Artland. She back in 1989, and it made her the first foreigner to ever work in a production department of a Japanese animation studio. Nowadays, when you see anime, you see like American names and stuff like that, Jan paved the way for all of those. In 1992, she had her own production company, Tao Corporation, in Thailand. In 94, she co-founded Genesis Digital Publishing Company with Izumi Matsumoto. The person, for those of you who don't know, Izumi Matsumoto is the mangaka of Kimagure Orange Road, and they created Comic On, the first digital manga. She was the president of Production IG USA back in 95. She was a producer, a tech director on the Japanese side. She was also the tech director of Grand Stream Saga, Maru Monogatari, Kyoshin Senkai, as well as worked on the Panzer Dragoon OAV. So if you're a fan of that, there's something right for you. For freelancing, she directed episodes of Suzy Chan and Marvy and worked on the development of original TV series. After she returned to the States, she founded a nonprofit voice actor project called Voices 4. She has also been the background artist for Doom Megapolis, Geno Cyber, production assistant for Koiko no Manichi and Rikyo 2, Horobi no Ko. I think I know it, that one. I think I've seen the first Rikyo. She was the in-between checker for Transformers Victory and Bio Armor Riger, 3D animator for Lost Universe. She was also the English translator for Dead Leaves, Psychic Academy, and Scribe mangas. That is pretty cool. Now, one thing I will say, I only met Jan Scott-Frazier about 3 years ago. I met her through maybe it was 2.5, 3 years. I met her through the old school anime convention club group on Facebook, where we end up migrating over to Discord. And she would come in and we would talk and hang out, and she would tell stories of conventions, stories of the industry, and she taught me a couple of cool things with OBS that I'm very thankful for. And I can tell you this: when I found out that she worked on one of my favorite animes, I took the camera, turned it down, kicked the chair aside, dropped to my knees, and I just worshiped like we're not worthy. If you've seen Wayne's World, you know what I'm talking about.
I was about to say, good job, Wayne.
That's basically is it. Now I knew she was having some health issues. Like, for those of you that didn't know, she was having dialysis done like 3 days a week, and because she had an accident at home that kind of put her in a hospital for a while. It kind of turned out to be like temporary hospice care till she was able to get back on, back to normal, her healthy self, and move back home. Um, I will say, not this Thursday, but the Thursday before last, she came into the chat, voice chat with us. She didn't have her camera on, but she was kind of quiet and talkative. I wasn't sure what was going on until the group chat message saying that she's ending things on her own terms. And basically that day we were told, I think it was actually no, it wasn't last Thursday. This happened during last week's show. I got them like earlier that day. I got the message of, if there's anything you need to say it now. Before I was able to kind of get my words together, she had already passed. But
Damn, that sucks.
I know, but it happens. I'm not. I'm sad that it happened, but But I will say this. Let me see if I can find this. I made a post regarding her a while back, because I shared it all over. So let's see, here it is. This is what I have to say about Jan Scott-Frazier. In the very short time that I knew you, you made me smile. I always look forward to seeing you in Discord to tell stories about conventions and the industry. I wish I had more time to know you, but you are no longer in pain. Take care, friend, and I'll see you on the other side. Plain, simple, and sweet. Barry, did you know her?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately, I didn't know them very well. But I'm just glad to know that they're not in pain anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Can't say I knew her either, so.
Even before the Discord, I knew of her. So, it was really cool,
Hmm.
to get to know her and so forth. I actually thought she had actually ran the cosplay department for ShoujoCon 2002, 2003, but it wasn't her, it was somebody else. So I was like, whoops. Anywho, I'm not going to try to prettify the transition to our next article, but we are going to talk about what's going on with Visa and how they're restricting some sales in Japan. Ari, can you tell us about that?
Oh, this ought to be fun.
Mm.
To quote unquote protect the brand.
Mm.
Seaton Kitney, president of Visa Worldwide Japan, confirmed last week that while Visa wants to make its payment service available to legal and legitimate products and services as much as possible, it may sometimes decline purposes to, quote, protect the brand.
Mm.
During the Q&A session in the company's briefing about its expansion efforts in Osaka, Kitney was responding to a question about the recent spate of credit card companies refusing to process payments for sites and services that may carry adult content, which is legal in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Kitney added that such decision to decline purchases may involve both global and local policies for Visa, and it's most important for the company to maintain honesty and integrity moving forward.
So that's what they're calling it now.
Over the past 2 years, numerous sites and services in Japan have had to disallow payments from various services such as Visa and MasterCard due to customer payments being refused through those services. Such sites include, but are not limited to, Nico Nico, Melon Brooks and Tora Noana, DL Site, which also disavowed American Express, Vantia, Manga Library Z, Fonza, among others. Oh, and C10 Kidneys now president of Visa Worldwide Japan.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, I just noticed the update at the
Yes,
bottom.
that's right. Yeah, and I think we kind of talked about this a while back.
Probably don't remember. I don't know, like some of these like places that sell like hentai stuff or whatever, that they could have easily, say like you had like ads like what Visa doesn't want you to buy and shit like that.
Well, I will say this. It is most likely because of adult content and material that's being sold. There are websites that cater directly for adult entertainment, where some of the sites have to be very tiptoey about how you're being billed. So, whenever you want to get content or whatever, there are sites where you can buy tokens, and you can give the tokens to whoever on the site, like that, as opposed to outright giving money. Because for some reason, Visa, MasterCard, they all don't, for some reason, they find titty money disgusting. It pays the fucking bills.
Well, it's
It
mostly
pays the
due to
fucking
the
too.
fact. Yeah, fair, yeah.
Mhm.
But it's mostly because of who they have to cater to. They have to
Mhm.
cater to very conservative
Yeah, I know.
people in their market that are
Mhm.
not going to be respectful, even if they're the probably largest market of consumers of it because they are repressed. Anywho,
Yes,
um,
yes, we all know how Grinder came to a screeching halt during the Republican National Conference. Convention. We all know
but
about
yeah,
that,
so
yes.
yeah, so they're probably the biggest market of it, but they're the first to clutch their pearls when anybody
Mm-hmm.
actually makes money the way they want to make money.
And
Legalize it, bros. Legalize it.
in some
Anywho.
places it is. And to throw on top of that, the same thing with freaking weed dispensaries and stuff. You can't pay with your debit. You have to go into the ATM or have cash ready or use a third party system to transfer funds. It's
Honestly,
ridiculous.
the last dispensary I purchased stuff from, I could use my credit card.
Now, were they actually selling actual like?
Yeah, I actually, well, it was a place in Minnesota that that they mailed it out to me, but it's a bottle of weed gummies, like 40 of them, and two 4-packs of THC infused soda.
Well, before I, well, that is odd
I,
because
uh, I I haven't touched any of them yet because I have work this week, and it's like they actually did the like the warning label on the kit on the bottle of weed gummies actually does the Mighty Boosh hash cakes spot. You know what I mean?
no,
It's
we
a
don't. But
start with start with one at first. Wait an hour and see how you act.
Yeah,
Don't eat
I
15 in one go.
trust me,
I know.
I have been there, which is kind of
Don't eat
surprised.
15 in one go, otherwise you'll see the devil and he will rip out your heart to your kneecaps.
Look, I'm kind of surprised that you had to go get it from Minnesota when there's places in Jersey where you can go.
Oh yeah, there's places near, including like one like down the street from me. But
Mm-hmm.
I just got coupons from the place. I'm like,
Okay,
give it a shot.
all right, fair enough.
And it just came today, so like I said, like Friday-ish, I'll start seeing what happens. I don't want to be like, man, this edible ain't shit, and I just like clip right through my floor.
Okay, all right. Before you bounce out of here, let me explain this.
Okay.
The first time I took an edible, I had already imbibed earlier that night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've taken edibles before and it doesn't do anything. This time I took one. 45 minutes later, I was laughing like a fucking lunatic.
Like that, right? Just
Yeah.
punch you right in the side of the head.
No. That was when a friend of mine had homemade edibles made, and I tried one. like half hour later, I was just shaking like a North Korean rocket. My lips were like numb. I was just like, I
I
was
love that.
good.
Like that's my favorite, comparison for faulty shit falling apart.
I was
North Korean
good.
space. Same brain
like,
cell, buddy.
mm, like an orange tabby cat.
Like,
Okay.
like this animal ain't shit, and I'm just falling through the map like, hello darkness, my old friend.
Well, I think
I
this
thought you
episode.
broke the game again.
Well, I think this episode just got the explicit tag. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm gonna head out now, guys.
All right. We'll
I gotta
see.
get up tomorrow.
You got.
Ari. Thanks
See you
for
next week, my
joining.
friend.
See you later.
Later. Okay, we got you on 2-play mode. Let me go ahead and change the overlay.
Yeah. Change up everything, and then we'll be good to go.
All right, you want to kick off the next story while I do that?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So my lovelies, who's a fellow One Piece fan? Because we know Ranma's not. No, I'm kidding.
Don't get me
So
started.
after nearly 2 decades of playing a major part in Toei Animation's One Piece anime series, Frankie's official voice actor, Kazuki Yao, is stepping down permanently from the role. Via One Piece's official X, formerly Twitter, longtime voice actor for the Straw Hat Pirates Frankie, Kazuki Yao will step down from playing the character. The official statement reads, Kazuki Yao, who is currently playing the role of Frankie in the TV anime One Piece, will be graduating from the Straw Hat Pirates. This decision was reached after lengthy discussions. We will announce a successor during the Super Stage Red at Jump Festa 2025 on Sunday, December 22nd, and hold a graduation ceremony for Yao-san. And the post quickly went viral with outpourings of solidarity with the actor's condition. In addition to Frankie, Yao also played Bong Clay and Jungo in the series. Fans voiced serious concerns about Yao's health in February of this year, following indications that he was struggling with his lines. Voice actor Wataru Takagi then substituted for Yao in One Piece episode 1121 due to health concerns. This news comes as fellow One Piece voice actor Tesho Genda, Kaido, was likewise replaced due to his health condition, and Usopp voice actor Kappei Yamaguchi was hospitalized after a weight training incident.
Ooh.
Yao first debuted as Frankie nearly 20 years ago in One Piece Water 7 arc. His other roles include Iketani in Initial D, Takeda in Kenichi, Dudao in Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ, and Rance in Rance the Animation. The voice actor commented on his exit from One Piece via his own X account, stating, "A sad farewell is finally here. After nearly 25 years together, it's time to part ways. It feels surreal, like an out-of-body experience. But a gap has formed between me and the ideal Frankie, so I've decided to take a step off the Sunny for now. It's frustrating. It's sad. I'm really sorry. But I've prepared a super replacement. Look forward to 12/22's Jump Festa."
Well, as we all know, you're the bigger One Piece fan than I am. So how do you feel about it?
Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a smoke, just a scoshy bit, just a tiny, insurmountable amount. But yeah, that's very sad.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I didn't even update the tag. I am so sorry. Rundown. And there we go. So now we'll get into our next story here. We're going to be talking about new Sailor Senshi art. Usually that means that there's a collab coming down the line. And Moonies are going.
What brand could help fill our Frankie void?
And Moonies will be broke as a joke again.
Broke as a joke, so they'll also be crying. But we're filling our hearts with chocolate.
Well,
Sailor
yeah.
Moon creator gifts 8 new pieces of original artwork for a sweet Christmas treat.
Ooh.
Sailor Moon franchise remains the biggest name in magical girl anime and manga, which is why it's still receiving so many new products and collectibles even after over 30 years. Now the brand is celebrating this continued success with a sweet little collaboration with new images now being revealed for this manga treat. It's a part of collaboration with Japanese dairy brand Meiji. New images by Sailor Moon creator Naoko Takeuchi have been released, and the first wave of these images featuring Sailor Moon herself and Sailor Chibi Moon, with the series now complete with 8 other pictures, the 4 inner and 4 outer Sailor Senshi. Not only do these add an edible edge to the brand's popularity, but they even involve artwork from an artist who's very important to Sailor Moon. As noted, the previous images for the Sailor Moon X Meiji collaboration were already revealed, with these being based around Sailor Moon and her daughter, Sailor Chibi Moon, and now the new images feature Sailor Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto, all of whom are coupled with some other sweet aesthetics. The drawings of the Sailor Scouts are done by none other than Naoko Takeuchi. Takeuchi, oh my gosh. The creator of
Are
Sailor
you
Moon
having one of
franchise
those
herself.
days?
Showcased in her signature flowery art style, the characters also have corresponding symbols behind them. Each of these are lightly touched with chocolate, making the point of the crossover even more obvious. There are even more chocolate stars surrounding the characters, making the cosmos yummier than ever. As with the other images, these pictures will be seen on different Meiji chocolate candies, all of which will also have the name of the Sailor Scouts in question. Also included with the tasty treats will be recipes for other edible Christmas-themed delectables, including Super Sailor Moon's Crisis Cake. Ooh, these products are now about to make their way to the Japanese retailers. Although, unlike other forms of merchandise, an international release seems unlikely.
Hmm.
Running since 1991, the Sailor Moon brand has dotted various products, so having the Sailor Scouts involved with the Japanese equivalent of Hershey's isn't quite as random as some might think first glance. Yeah, I will say you probably won't be seeing these in the States. Unfortunately, Meiji doesn't quite hit the same like level of popularity in the American market as it does in the Japanese market. And also, I don't think I have seen some Meiji products in local
Yeah,
supermarkets to
you.
myself.
It's like their base chocolates and so forth. You might see
Yeah,
them like the specialty stuff if it's imported.
if it's imported, and it really just depends on your local Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
Uranus. You want me to say Uranus?
Womp womp.
We have say Uranus correctly in chat.
Everyone's a comic. Everyone's a
Everyone's a
comic.
comic, a comic, a comic. But yeah.
Anywho, let's take it back to the old school. We're talking some classic anime. We're talking Vampire Hunter D.
Oh, Vampire Hunter D, let's go.
Fun fact, I have never seen Vampire Hunter D. I don't know why. I guess at the time when I got into anime, it wasn't my thing. But now that I've watched Castlevania, I may go back and watch it. So I know my sister's a big D fan. Anywho, um, it seems that Anime Expo Cinema Nights has brought back numerous anime classics to the big screen this year, including major releases for the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise. Now, another gem that debuted almost 40 years ago is about to make a big theatrical run through the screening event. The original 1985 Vampire Hunter D film was the first of several adaptations of the light novel series, becoming a cult hit in the realms of anime. Like another AXCN release, was instrumental in bringing adult-oriented anime to Western audiences. Now, set to turn 40 years old, the movie is one of the next films to be showcased as part of Anime Expo Cinema Nights. Pretty cool. The 1985 Vampire Hunter D movie is joining the selections of screening for a special anniversary. It will be hitting the theaters on April 9th, 2025, which will mark the 40th anniversary of the original release. This is the only date listed so far, so it's unknown if the movie will have multiple screenings. I have a feeling it might just. Previous movies in the Cinema Night series include the first 2 films in the Gundam trilogy and Metropolis, the adaptation from Osamu Tezuka's manga, itself very loosely based on the Fritz Lang classic of the same name. Alright, cool. These movies have had multiple screening dates, so the same may be the case for Vampire Hunter D, as more info is released closer to its April screening date. Likewise, as is the case with the rest of the series, the event will be exclusive to AMC theaters across the US. And this is the first I'm hearing about that. If they definitely do it depending on when, I am definitely going to go check it out. Released in 1985, Vampire Hunter D is an OVA film based on the novels by Hideyuki Kikuchi, featuring the eponymous Dampier, half vampire, half breed D, as he protects a young woman in a dark future from the threat of vampires. The film was monumental in many ways. Not only was it well received in Japan, but also became an even bigger cult classic in the US. There it introduced a generation of viewers to the darker, more mature animation coming out of Japan at the time. This paved the way for movies such as Ninja Scroll, better known as Makai Tensho, which is really good. I'm so glad I got my hands on the Ninja Scroll and the Ninja Scroll DVDs and Blu-rays, which unfortunately is in storage. And if I'm not mistaken, it's currently not streaming at the time. I'm glad I got my hands on it, so you know. And various edgy, grimdark anime to become big hits in their own right on the home video market when localized. So tell me, Barry, if you decide to go do this, are you going to put together a D cosplay?
I mean, I like his style. I will not lie.
Yeah.
But I feel like in order to do something like this, I would need more time. I don't know. I've reached that point of my cosplay.
Barry.
World,
Let's say you have the time. I'm just saying, would you? I'm just saying, would you?
I mean, if given the time, the resources, and things like that, yeah, I've cosplayed to a theater
Barry, that's
before.
what I'm saying. If you have the time and resource, I'm just throwing it out there, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, I would.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right, and our last story about isekai mobile games getting a new character, Oro. Barry, I believe that is on you.
You want to? I was gonna say, did you want to take that one, or is that on me? Okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. How many stories did you do?
I had 2.
Okay,
so
I did too.
I'm happy to take this one.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. Well, my chat knows we absolutely adore Truck-kun. But if you're into isekai as much as we are,
oh god,
Kolopol teases isekai game with characters from popular anime. COLOPL opened an official website to tease a new free-to-play game titled Isekai Suki wa Dono Sakuin wo Atsumeo. Which work should we call next? That is listed as coming soon for iOS, Android, and PC via Steam. The company also revealed Isekai BBS Kyo wa Dono Sakuhin wo Kataro ka. Which work should we talk about next? Message board, which is starting service soon as well. Kalopul streamed a trailer with narration by Rina Hidaka, Philo in The Rising of the Shield Hero, Silica in Sword Art Online, and Milim in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Yeah, this sounds interesting, but I am also very tentative. I will have to see. I'll have to see how this one branches out.
The fact that you mentioned Truck-kun, I gotta find out what anime that is, where they actually referenced Truck-kun and said, "Oh, you got hit by."
There's a few. The one that I know is it Zombie Idol? It's like
no, it wasn't.
Zombie Idols.
It wasn't Zombieland Saga. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't Zombieland Saga, but I know that that one uses the trope.
Yeah, but in the anime, they actually
comes from, I think, is more dark.
In the anime, they actually mention Truck-kun in passing, like as an actual acknowledge of it, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it because it's I can Google search it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Because I think I found it and I have it bookmarked.
Technically, Optimus Prime is Truck-kun. I mean, I guess you're right. I don't know how legal that is. But
Autobots
technically
transform and roll out.
Robots transform and isekai as many humans as you can hit.
All right. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on. I actually had an argument with somebody about this. They actually tried to prove that Sailor Moon is an isekai.
Okay.
It's not.
So like it's a reincarnation and
No,
there
no,
is
no,
a
no, 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 no,
catastrophic
not
event.
that part, not that part, not that part.
Oh,
The fact that they time traveled to the future.
no, what
It's
they're
not.
doing is time traveling to the past.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about the whole the Sailor Moon arc where dark, where they have that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They were trying to argue
No, it's
it's
not an isekai.
I
though.
know.
Yeah,
I
it's
told.
never been an isekai.
Granted, there are some animes that can be multifaceted with two different genres. It can happen, but straight
Yeah,
out,
it can happen.
Sailor Moon is a shoujo anime. If it wasn't isekai, it would show like the inner senshi hanging out. The next thing you know, a truck hits them and they end up in a medieval setting or something like that, or a world where
it would require either a change of life, so
Mhm.
they would change characters
Mhm.
into someone else,
Mm-hmm.
or they would change setting, or
Yeah.
it would be a combination of the two.
Right, but then
And
again,
then they would have a different, and they might not remember their past, or they could remember their past. So
right.
there's a lot of aspects to it that would have to come into play.
I
That
know,
is
but
why
there are
Sailor
some
Moon is
people.
not.
But Yancy, there are some people who think otherwise, and I'm like, y'all need to stop. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
that's
just
a good point to
that
bring
was
up.
pretty outlandish as f. I don't even talk to that.
Yeah.
This was somebody I used to know, and this was like on somebody else's.
Mm.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you people? All right, now that we got that out the way, we're gonna go into the part of the show that y'all really like to you like to stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan. All right, which story do you want?
I think I want to take either the second one or the third one because I like both of those subject matter. But the second one is probably more fitting to me because it deals with naps, and I love me some naps, bro.
All right. Well, the fourth one. Well, that's a. I'm sick of paper straws, so I'm not gonna worry about that. But I'll do the third story because that piques my interest, given that I will be going to Japan soon. So going back again.
Okay.
All right. So take it away, Betty.
Okay. Well, if you thought you weren't getting enough sleep, consider elementary students in Japanese schools. Japanese elementary schools are installing standing sleeping pods for students to nap in. Getting enough sleep is important for good health, but commenters aren't sure this is the best way to do it. When you think about it, it's kind of strange how nap time is common in preschools, but then immediately disappears from kids' curriculums once they reach elementary school. So when you hear that an elementary school in Japan has set up a space for kids to catch some Z's, it might sound an encouraging sign that the administrators are showing proper concern for their pupils' well-being. However, this might not seem like such a great idea when you see where the kids are supposed to sleep. As shown in the article, the school, whose name has not been publicly announced, has installed as the report calls, a tashin, or stand to sleep box. It's an accurate description, as the phone booth-sized compartment is just big enough for a single occupant to brace themselves against the pads for their heads, hindquarters, and shins in an array that's meant to keep you upright even after you drift off to sleep and aren't consciously standing anymore. If the setup looks familiar, you might be recalling the previous time the writers had been looking at a design created by Hokkaido Prefecture-based Kyoju Plywood Corporation, which originally called them nap boxes. They were initially introduced as office equipment for workers who wanted a place to nap. Kyoju later established the Giraffe Nap brand for their invention, referencing how giraffes sleep standing up in short bursts, and even partnered with Nescafe for a limited time nap pod cafe in downtown Tokyo. The elementary school installed its standing nap pod on Tuesday as part of its health curriculum, which since last year has included a special focus on the importance of getting sufficient enough amounts of sleep. Yoshida Nohara, Kyoju's managing director, described the benefits of the pod's design with data has been collected that shows it is difficult to achieve deep sleep while sleeping perpendicular to the pull of gravity, and also cited the quickness at which one can return to work or study with an in-office, in-school sleeping booth. We hope that these children become adults. They'll create a society in which taking naps is something people do as a matter of course. However, judging from online reactions to the video, a lot of people aren't convinced that stand and sleep pods are such a great idea, especially for kids. Quotes said are, "We live in a terrible timeline. You started with the sleep is important, and this is the conclusion you came to. I think you've got some things backwards. I think spending too much time in one of these things would curve your spine. I want to lie down when I sleep. The human body isn't designed to sleep standing up. I'd be too freaked about possibly getting trapped inside to get any rest. Instead of making a society where taking naps is normal, you should be making a society where people aren't so tired that they need to take naps. You
Mm.
can just sleep at your desk in school. I slept all time in the school library, too." The last two commenters make especially good points. As evidenced by students sneaking naps in class by putting their heads down on their desks behind a book or out of the teacher's line of sight, kids are already aware that sleep is good for the body, or at least that sleeping feels better than staying awake when they're tired. More so trying to reinstill the pretty obvious concept that sleep is good. The important thing would seem to be that either creating time during school day for kids to take regular naps or finding a proper study/homework load that teaches time management skills so that kids aren't shaving down their sleep hours by staying up and late studying or trying to just have a little enjoyable personal time after finally finishing their overly heavy school responsibilities for the day. Still, all else equal, having a school nap booth at least makes it easier to get some extra sleep than not having a school nap booth, though it's unclear if kids can make regular use of it or if it's the only available on special occasions as part of the day's health lesson. You get a little nap chat as a treat. The
Mhm.
school's booth will be in place until February, after which the kids will apparently need to find some other place for supplemental slumber. That's so stupid.
It
I'm just
really
going to
is.
say
All
it
right.
right now. Stupid as heck.
Miss Yellow Red makes a valid point. Sleep is good. Yes, that is correct. Now, do you want students to have better sleep habits, better sleep practices? Here's your answer. Classes shouldn't be starting at 7 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
Teach them proper sleep habits, like maybe internet literacy and the way to properly use technology so that you're not addicted to it and can't go to bed on time. Huh.
Well, wait, well, it's
Huh.
not, well, yeah,
Weird.
yeah, that too. But I'm just saying, I remember, in school, elementary school had to be there by 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. When I was in middle school, oh, we had to be there by 8 a.m. Ugh. High school, 8:30. Yes, we did
Mm.
get out early, but it wasn't by much. When I was in elementary school, you went in at 9 and you got out at 3:10. Junior high and high school, you went in at 8:30. You were out by 2:40, 2:50. Okay, this is what you do. Shorten the class periods and just let it be and just rotate the classes. Honestly, no teaching class should be 50 freaking minutes. 35 to 40 minutes tops. Leave it like that. But I'm not a teacher, I'm not an educator, but I am a student, so I was a student, so I kind of know something.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the
Mhm.
circumstances. It's probably too a lot of it is that the teachers aren't getting the support they need, but that's another problem for
Yeah,
another day.
and it's definitely another podcast.
Yeah.
All right, so the thing we're going to talk about now is about how a castle is basically raising ticket prices by 200% for non-local tourists. Talk about a hijacking. Damn.
We had, yeah, we had something similar to this with bus fares. I remember we covered an article about them charging extra to tourists.
I think so too. Really think so. In the town of Himeji, Hyogo Prefecture, they really have one major sightseeing attraction. Of course, since its said attraction is Himeji Castle, it's widely considered the most beautiful and well-preserved castle in all of Japan. So to anyone with interest in Japanese history or classical architecture, it's worth visiting. However, experiencing Himeji's castle's cultural and aesthetic value is going to come with increased costs as the city's municipal government has announced plans to double and possibly even triple the cost of admission to the castle for non-local adult tourists. Currently, the ticket cost is based on age. Adults, including college students, it's 1,000 yen, which is $6.65 at the time of this story. Elementary, middle, and high schoolers, it's 300 yen, which is probably about $2 and change. And admission is free for kids younger than that. Okay. The municipal government has been discussing raising ticket prices to pay for additional earthquake proofing of the castle's stone walls. And the city mayor initially floated the idea of a two-tiered pricing system in which foreign tourists will be charged a higher price. This proposal was deemed premature, and in its stead, the decision has been made to charge higher prices for all non-Himeji resident adults, including residents of other Japanese cities. Shit. Under the new system, tickets will remain at 1,000 yen for Himeji adults, but prices for other adults will increase somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 yen. The exact price is scheduled to be decided upon this coming March at the start of the new fiscal year. But there is a bit of a silver lining for out-of-towners, though, and one that locals benefit from too. Under the new ticketing pricing system, admission to Himeji Castle will be free for all visitors under 17 and under, regardless of where they're coming from. This decision was made in order to show the wonder of Himeji Castle to children from all over the world, as was reported by Hyogo newspaper Kobe Shimbun Next. Oddly enough, this does mean that the price for 18-year-olds who are still in high school will rise from 300 to 1,000 yen for Himeji residents, and to the yet higher price for out-of-town visitors. About 1.5 million people visited Himeji Castle in 2023, with roughly 12% of them paying the 300 yen student admission price. That works into a little bit over 53 million yen that the city will be foregoing, minus admission paid by 18-year-old high school students, by making the castle free for visitors under 18. But that figure is projected to be more than made up with the increased prices charged to out-of-towners. The increased revenue is planned for use in restoration projects and establishing new businesses, such as a luggage storage service. Well, at least they're upfront about it. I can't get mad about that. Online reactions to the new pricing plan have largely been negative on Japanese Twitter, with comments such as, well, that'll reduce the visitor numbers. Guess I'm not going to Himeji. Alright, taking Himeji Castle off my travel list. I guess it's on to Okayama Castle. No way from the next town over are going to visit Himeji Castle if they have to pay those new prices. I think there's going to be a big drop in domestic visitors, and the place will be filled with just travelers from overseas, because the dollar to yen is pretty strong right now. Excuse me. Now, the scenario described by the last comment isn't so far-fetched. For foreign travelers on what may be a once-in-a-lifetime trip, an extra 2,000 yen to get into Himeji Castle isn't going to be that big of a deal once it's folded into a total travel budget, along with international round-trip airfare, rail pass, train ticket expenses, as they hit up multiple tourism destinations around the country. And as for all the Japan stuff, souvenir shopping they want to do for the foreseeable future. As such, the higher ticket price may not dissuade all that many foreign tourists, especially with the weak yen currently dampening the price in its absolute terms. On the other hand, though, Japanese domestic tourists are definitely going to notice the difference. For comparison, among Osaka, Nagoya, Hikone, Matsumoto, Matsue, and Kumamoto castles, all among Japan's most visited castles, Hikone is the only one that currently charges 1,000 yen for adult admission, with tickets for all others being less expensive than that. Himeji's new pricing system will make it by far the most expensive castle in Japan for out-of-town adults to visit, and it is likely to severely diminish its attractiveness to day trippers and other domestic travelers who visits wouldn't be part of a Japan vacation they've set aside hundreds and thousands of yen for. Wow. All right. And I see and I get that. And given the dollar to yen ratio right now, I don't think their new prices would stop me from going.
Yeah, I think with the yen being about 75 cents on the US dollar, it's still a very approachable price point. And considering that a lot of these castle parks and things like that, the funding isn't really going to much else except for administration and castle upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you've ever been to a Japanese castle park, actually requires a lot of maintenance because a lot of the buildings are done in a very historically accurate manner.
That is true. See also on the Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on the Notre Dame and how it's like its
Mm-hmm.
revitalization just finished up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anywho, now that we got that out the way, I think it's time to wrap up the show. What do you think?
I agree.
Oh, great. Great minds think alike. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up. So if you have any questions about the show, please drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And while you're at it, please check out our podcast. It's Anime Jam Session. For those who don't know, it's available on any site, any podcasting aggravating app that you have, such as Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Definitely check us out. Check out some classic and older episodes too. And what's cool is some of these apps have the ability to allow you to leave reviews. So we'd like to hear what you think. Next up, please visit our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll not just get our weekly podcast, you'll get anime tips, anime reviews, editorials, convention reports, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews, all that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And follow us on our social media. It's Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. We are there. So show us a little love over there if you can. So we really appreciate that. So those of you who follow us on those, we thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. And remember, follow us on the socials so you know when we're going live, when we have new articles, new convention reports, and all other cool stuff. That's Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Now, if you're still here, which is great, we really appreciate you, there are links below to our tip jars. If you want to send us cash directly, there's clickable links to our Stream Elements, Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi. If you're not, you want to just throw us some bits, you can cheer us on with bits, or you can also sub to the channel and give out gift subs. So now we're going to go across the room. Last words, Barry.
Well, it is always a pleasure to be on the jamming session.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the Blue Sky for you, Miss Yellow Red. But yeah, it's always fun. I'm excited to go and play around with my new computer because I'm like super nervous, but I'm super excited, but I'm super nervous. So I'm gonna let myself be happy, you know?
My last words is I'm going to do some edits. I'm going to relax. I might just play around my PS5 for a bit. Just depends on how I feel. All right. So for those of you who are asking, this is our link, bsky.app/profile/animejamsession.bsky.social. That will be changing soon because I have to get it registered, so it'll just be animejamsession.com at the end. So, you know. So, anywho, that's it. End of list. We're going to get up on out of here. I'm Ranma.
I'm Barry Mellon.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Sleep sweet, little nightmares.
Oh, God. Say goodnight, Barry Mellon.
Good night, Barry Mellon.
All right, perfect. We're done. We're getting out of here. See you next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!